Now to Graham Platner. He is officially out of the Maine Senate race after multiple assault allegations showed that he was lying about his past. But he's not the only Democrat to have done so. Watch.
Are there other skeletons from your past that still may emerge in this race?
No. We are suspending campaign operations.
I trained as a physician, and that gives you the ability and the training to sit with people in moments of their worst pain. It's not about whether or not I'm a physician or a doctor. The question is, can you see a doctor?
And we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone.
So does this show that Democrats have a credibility problem? Let's ask Fox News political analyst and founder of the CaldwellSafety.org. He's Gianno Caldwell, and he's our friend here on Fox and Friends, and we're so happy to have you on, Gianno. So the Democrats keep falling for this trap, right? They find these candidates who are cosplaying as these blue-collar guys that the Democrats think will attract these, the kind of voters they used to have, which were these blue dog Democrats. What do you say about this latest incident with Platner? It's really just another example, right?
Well, Rachel, I believe the Democratic Party is dead. The socialists killed it. And we have example after example of Democratic socialists who have taken over the Democratic Party. In 10 years, they went from 35 people elected to 250. And we have Democrats all over who've endorsed these Democratic socialists. We see them taking over our communities all over the country. We're looking at what's going on in D.C. We got a Democratic socialist going to win there. Who would have thunk D.C. would be such a place? But this is where we are in our country. People are looking for integrity. They're looking for folks who are going to look out for the little guy. They're looking for somebody who's going to make their lives better and more affordable. And that is not the Democratic Party, nor is it the Democratic Socialists. The Democratic Party is dead.
I agree with everything you're saying, except if you are a hardcore, dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, you're only going to vote Democrat. Your two choices are Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and the establishment sort of, latte liberal, limousine liberals, or these guys who at least are saying, I'm going to fight for the working class. I'm going to end wars. I'm going to, they're at least offering a populist message. Isn't that the danger that the Democrats are in, that their establishment isn't offering to do anything for the working class?
Well, the Democratic Party is an elitist institution at this point.
Right.
As I mentioned before, it's not what we used to see, the traditional Democratic Party, and what you just talked about, the ones that we knew that our grandparents may have voted for, may have supported, they maybe cared about the little guy at that time, or at least pretended to. This isn't the same people. What they want is somebody who's going to fight against Trump, somebody who's going to maybe even use political violence against conservatives, which we've seen a number of their candidates. Yeah. Look in Virginia, the Attorney General's race in Virginia. Look at Platner. Look at any number of folks. They're using political violence as their messaging, and Democrats are applauding that. They're using the same rhetoric, and the only time they're talking about affordability is when they're virtual signaling, because what we know and what we've seen is they are not about affordability. Look at Madani in New York. How's folks here's lives been better because of his policies? Absolutely not, and they're not going to get better. They're going to be burdened by more costs and taxes.
I'm glad you bring up the violence. So first of all, Marxism, which is the root of the Progressive Party, the Democrat Party, is rooted in violence.
Yes.
They have always said the ends justify the means, from the Bolshevik Revolution all the way down to everything we're seeing right now. We're just talking about Charlie Kirk, another political assassination in our country. So let's talk about this violence, because you understand firsthand that Democrat policies, soft on crime policies, have real life effects. You just, in the last month, was the 4-year anniversary of the murder of your brother in Chicago.
Yes, and thank you for that. And I want to say my heart goes out to Erica Kirk and her family. What has happened to her husband, Charlie, was extraordinarily unacceptable, unfortunate, and a heinous murder. And this person who did it needs to really face life in prison. And speaking of my brother, and thank you for offering me this opportunity, my baby brother Christian, my innocent teenage baby brother, was murdered in Chicago, June 24, 2022. And I've been fighting for him through the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety and our foundation, the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. And what we're doing is giving Americans ability to fight back. We're having a
How?
march.
What does the Gianno Foundation do to fight back against violence like what happened to your brother?
Well, as an example, the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety at caldwellinstitute.org. Please support our efforts there. We got involved in a race in Los Angeles County with the Los Angeles District Attorney, Nathan Hochman. We supported him. We've gotten involved in a number of other races by doing ad buys, TV hits, getting out on the street, making sure people understand the stakes that are in these races. This July 25th, just a couple Saturdays from now, we're having a march against violence in the city of Chicago. We're going to honor every person across the nation who's lost their life because of violent crimes, whether you be an Angel family or someone who was shot on the street. We're encouraging everyone to come out to Chicago. We're going to be starting a Christian school, Morgan Park High School. We're going to start the march there, and we're encouraging everyone to show up. Come support your families and say enough is enough. Again, that's going to be on July 25th. Go to caldwellsafety.org and register to march with us, because if no one takes a stand, we're going to continue to see what we've been seeing in our streets. And I'm so thankful to President Trump, a president who actually cares about Americans and the violence in which we've experienced. This is somebody who's cleaned up Washington, D.C. with the help of his U.S. Marshal, Getty, who's an amazing individual. We got to keep doing more things like that, but it takes leaders like Donald Trump to make that possible. So I cannot thank the president enough for the work that he's doing and what he'll continue to do in the future.
Yeah, our murder rate in our country is plummeting in large part
because of him.
Because of him.
Absolutely. Right.
Gianno, we love what you're doing, and everyone can go to the Caldwell Foundation. More Fox and Friends up next.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.